Welcome back to Co-op Radio 102.7 FM CFRO. This is Monday Brown Bagger. My name is Reginald Angus Argue. We're going to try this one more time. Hopefully we're able to get the equipment to work with our next guest. And if we do, then that shows one thing, that people do not want Senator Gravel to talk about the National Democratic Initiative, which is extremely important because there's a local party. The BC Federation Party is trying to do that here in British Columbia. They're trying to regain the power back in the hands of the people and take it from the elite. That way what happened in Ontario will never again have a chance to happen anywhere in Canada. With that said, hopefully our next guest is on the line right now. He's a leader of the National Nonprofit Party and an advocate for peaceful change for here in Canada, where the power and the resources are put back in the hands of the Canadian people only. With that said, Lyn, are you there? Hello, Lyn? Okay, we seem to be having problems here, and hopefully we're... Hello, Lyn? Well, the only thing we can really do is just probably take another PA break, and hopefully we can work this out.
A critical mass. It was a Sunday edition, so that was difficult. Critical mass is usually held in every city in North America last Friday of the month. It was on a Sunday, so it was a special critical mass. I didn't think anything of it. I wasn't there. I was not there to protest. I was there to ride my bike through the city of Toronto, which I thought was legal. It was not, apparently. I was charged under inciting. An officer took me off my bike. He was riding on the sidewalk. He punched me in the face and the teeth. I went down hard. The police threw me on their bicycle. I have scratch marks all over me from their bicycle. They pushed me down. 4 of them were on top of me. I really couldn't see. They didn't charge me anything right there. I told them I'm not resisting. Please, I'm not resisting. They attacked me in my privates. They knocked my head against the ground repeatedly. They wouldn't take mercy into their system. It was very scary, and I've lived with these cops all my life, and I've seen them do this before, and actually I've seen them do this to many people this weekend. I didn't realize they'd take it out on me in Yorkville. This was on Yorkville Avenue. It was a full street full of people shopping, going about their business, trying to return to a life as normal. The police took that from them. The police threatened every single witness with obstruction of justice charges because they were watching them beat me. They tried to hide them beating me by taking me into a parking structure. They told me, take him to a corner without any cameras. They threatened me with more beatings if I didn't keep quiet. They threatened me with more charges if I didn't keep quiet. And they beat me more, regardless of that. They handcuffed me more than usual, tighter than usual. Their sergeant came around. He took mercy on me. He told them, quit it, get the handcuffs loose, get him in the paddy wagon, get him down to the detention center. They charged me for inciting. I don't know what I was inciting. They never told me. They said I was a no-good anarchist. I'm a card-carrying NDPer. I vote NDP. I'm left, as good as you can. I don't know what anarchy means, really. They took me down to the detention center. They took my shoes away. They said they kept me in these plastic handcuffs for 12 hours. They threw me in a cell that was overcrowded with 25 people. I read in the Globe and Mail the day before that these cells were only supposed to be for 10 people. I couldn't believe it. I didn't know what was going on. I was bleeding. My face, my nose, my arm was splintered. I was asking for emergency medical service. Nobody received emergency medical service in the entire facility. Nobody received phone calls. I got a little small styrofoam cup of water every 5 hours. So I only got 2 little small cups of water. We asked them for mercy. We asked them for our rights as humans. They laughed at us. They ate chocolate-covered strawberries in front of us. They ate apples. They drank huge bottles of water. And they threw us apple cores. Some people were so desperate to eat, they ate their apple cores. They let me go under a verbal contract that I would not go to a protest ever again. These aren't rights. These are threats. This intimidation. I am now afraid that they will take me back there. It's always now forever in my head. And I will work very hard to never let this ever happen again in my home city. Because it's my home. It's not their home. They're like taking the city and changing it into something else that I did not grow up in.
Well, that right there was YouTube by a gentleman by the name of Jeffrey B. He was riding a bike down in Toronto, and he was attacked by the police. And I have Kevin Annett here right now, and we're going to have Lyn calling in. Kevin, I wanted to basically say this Public Works Protection Act, apparently it passed in 1939. It was revised again in 1990. So I think Mike Harris was in power in 1990, and we all remember what happened in 1995 when the Anthony Dudley George was gunned down.
From a kill order after, there were 3 cops who were going to testify, or 2 cops, that Mike Harris gave the kill order to kill Dudley George, and they both died in car accidents on the highway.
Well, this Public Works Protection Act, what happened was it was revised again in 1990. And I was watching a YouTube, and there was a constitutional lawyer talking. Mm-hmm. And what they've done is that the lieutenant governor has the power with the people that are in cabinet within the Ontario government, right? They basically have the power to pass whatever laws they want. Lieutenant Governor rubber stamps it.
Well, that's the norm in Canada, because we have most of the legislation is passed order in council, not in House of Commons.
Well, these
laws also never go off the books. They're always on the books.
What they've done is they've expanded the Public Works Protection Act. Originally was for just protecting court systems and also jail places. Mm-hmm. So what happened was they've expanded it to say that Lieutenant Governor and the Ontario Cabinet can decide wherever the Public Works is, wherever they want to go. And what happened also at the same time, this constitutional lawyer continued on, and he was talking, and he was saying that even though this is on the books, it was never been tried in a court of law to see if it actually can stand up against the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Because what they'll do is they'll put this in place, they'll quickly enact the police powers, pull the people off the street, and then all of a sudden, right after these events are over, all of a sudden they drop all these charges, so it doesn't go to court.
Right.